A lot of people nowadays, when they look to home defense or defense for other reasons, they look to the AR platform, which is fine. I love the AR platform. I have two of them. Shotguns still matter, and they matter greatly. One of the guns we're going to talk about is the Remington 870. So one of the reasons the Secret Service uses the 870 is because it's simple, it's a proven gun. The question is it good enough to protect the president with? Absolutely. The Remington 870, like I said, they've made 10 million of them. They're very good guns. They work very well. Listen, all this is a platform to get lead in the air to stop your attackers. And it does it very well. This version I have here holds 5 rounds. We have versions in the Secret Service that hold 7 rounds. That's a lot of double-aught buck very quickly. It is a very potent gun from short distances, and you have a variety of types of rounds you can put in it. Double-aught buck, rifled slug, number 4. There are all kinds of different rounds. Typically for self-defense, I wouldn't recommend, I personally don't recommend going any smaller than double-aught buck. Some departments do use number 4. One of the reasons the Secret Service uses a 1-ounce rifled slug, and when I say rifled slug, I just want to clarify, it's not a modern-day sabot. It's a slug of lead, 1 ounce, that has rifling on the slug itself. This is a smooth bore, and as the projectile leaves the barrel, because there's rifling on the slug, it gives it a little bit of a spin, and it stabilizes it very well, like I said, out to 100 yards. So one of the reasons they like the rifled slug is because it brings so much force. It's a 1-ounce piece of lead leaving that barrel at about 1,200 feet per second. One of the demonstrations the Secret Service used to show us, they made a video, and they shot a Remington, just like this, rifled slug, at a vehicle, LTD, Ford LTD, sitting still. This is back in like a 1985 Ford LTD. From 20 yards, the round went through the windshield, through the seat, the front seat, through the back seat, and it embedded in the trunk in a metal support. That's a lot of force, and that is a great way to stop somebody from driving a vehicle at you. That is one of the other reasons the Secret Service likes this gun with the rifled slug, because it will go through the windshield on a car very easily. It will go through the door on a car. It'll go through the right side door, through a passenger, and into the left side door. So at one time, the Secret Service, in one of their genius think tank ways, decided they were going to try to use something less than lethal. And this, in my opinion, I don't want to get off on the wrong tangent here. We're talking about shotguns, but in my opinion, it's one of the ways the Secret Service started falling off the rails years ago. They decided they wanted a non-lethal because somebody invented a shell that would shoot a beanbag. And it's supposed to be non-lethal. The problem with things that are supposed to be non-lethal and then sometimes are lethal, then you end up getting sued because you accidentally killed somebody when you weren't supposed to. A beanbag, you're supposed to shoot it into the abdomen, and it knocks the wind out of you. The problem is that some people have issues with their body, they have aneurysms, whatever, and they die anyway. The ideal of a shotgun is to stop an attack, and the idea that the Secret Service tried to, they bought a bunch of these guns. They had them nickel plated so they stood out from the other guns, and on the wooden stock, it had a wooden stock, and it was carved into the wooden stock, non-lethal. And they were on post at the White House. They didn't have to really do any special training because we already know how to use the guns. They were on the post at the White House for a couple of years, and then they kind of disappeared because they realized that they basically kind of wasted their time and money. You don't protect the White House with a beanbag. You protect the White House with lead bullets, well-trained men and women, and the right equipment and the right attitude. I'm not saying non-lethal shouldn't be applied anywhere, but in this case, I have issues with non-lethal. It doesn't always work, and it doesn't always work the way it's supposed to. It's a proven platform. A shotgun is relatively inexpensive. It's simple to teach somebody how to use, and it works very well. And the Secret Service, like many police departments and military, have always relied on shotguns and will for a long time.